that would have fucked up my career.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
If you hadn't met Rogan, I would have never met. Like, what the? Like,
but here's the thing, man. And I just heard you talk about this on Bertcast with Adam Devine. Like, you deserve it, dude. You are legitimately like the hardest working guy in fucking comedy. It's crazy how much you do. So if you want to black out and cook a butternut squash, then fucking so be it, man.
Yeah, right.
I mean, seriously, you have what, 4 podcasts now, right? You didn't stop working. You're the only person in the world who just didn't stop working during coronavirus. You probably worked more than ever. You got 2 shows and a fucking partridge in a pear tree. It's of course you need to unwind, man.
Dude, I've made a statement and I very much regret. But I used to talk trash about Kevin Hart when he'd say he's the hardest working man. That's why he's so successful.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, I get so worked up because I really believe in luck more than I do hard work. I really genuinely do. Because if you're not lucky, you don't get the opportunity to work.
True.
Like, if you got to get lucky a couple times so that people go, oh, I want to go see his shows. But like, I'm starting to empathize with him because we must have that same gene where I go, if I'm not working, I start losing my mind. Like, I can't just sit on my hands. And so when the pandemic started, I was like, well, I'm not going to just not tour. Like, I'll figure out a new way to tour.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and some people have come up with brilliant ways to do stand-up. There's a place I used to do, Laughs Unlimited in Sacramento, where they give everyone motorcycle helmets. And so everyone's got like headsets on, and then you do stand-up and everyone's socially distant. Like, hey, it's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing. And they do it outdoors.
Yeah.
So people are walking by and you can be like, look at this fat couple. It's amazing. So I'm one of those people. I love a workaround. I love a good workaround.
Yeah.
And so I came up with the idea to my agent of doing drive-ins. I'm sure a bunch of people came up with that idea at the exact same time. But my agent found a way to do drive-ins. And
yeah. I mean, you did it right away. You didn't miss a beat.
We've done 40 cities. On my very last show is in Escondido on the 28th. 3 shows, just out of the Friday show, and then The Cabin came out, and I did a game show with Snoop Dogg, and we doubled down. Me and Bill have a podcast, Bill Bert, and then me and Tom have one, 2 Bears, 1 Cave, and both of us just doubled down. And then I started doing extra episodes of Bertcast because I knew I was tearing through podcasts.
Right.
So I was like, I might as well put the content out. And I feel like I'm.
But all right. So maybe at one point you got lucky. What would you say was like your break? I mean, I know the machine was when you popped, but like, did you get lucky in the sense of like it fell into your lap?
Oh, are you kidding me? 1997, Rolling Stone magazine discovered me and called me the part in the country. Right. I mean, like, I look at that, like, I can't help. And like, look, other people's luck. Like, I was talking to Segura about his luck, and he goes, because we were trying to quantify times when we made a decision and went this way for whatever luck reasons, and it could have gone otherwise. Right. And Segura pinpointed his. He goes, all right. He goes, I'm doing the Maxim Comedy Tour with Charlie Murphy and Joe Rogan and John Heffron. And Charlie Murphy wants to go to dinner. And I'm like, through the roof. And I start to leave with Charlie Murphy, and Joe Rogan stops me and says, hey, man, you're funny. We should work together more. And Tom's like, I'm trying to get out the door to go catch Charlie Murphy.
Right.
You know, like, and he's like, had I not left at the time I did, I would never have become friends with Joe the way I am.
Right.
And then I start going, and then I start looking at it because I'm hardcore, like, butterfly effect sliding doors. And then I start going, that would have fucked up my career.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
If you hadn't met Rogan, I would have never met, like, what the, like.
Right. No, so, but so you have those moments, but now, you know, you could have just been like, all right, 2 Bears, 1 Cave is a success, and like, that's what I do. But you decided to add like 5 other things and do 10 other shows. And so, you know, you take that luck, but now it's hard work on top of it. That's why you're really where you're at.
Well, I love what I do. That's another lucky thing is I don't consider, by the way, this is a job technically, like us talking, but I don't consider this work at all.
No, not at all.
There are millions of people listening to you right now going, this, I would do their job for free. Right. And so that's the other part is that when you get into an opportunity where people would do your job for free, you then just have to go, all right, I'm going to focus. And so for me,
I always say it is a hard job. That we're not coal miners. It's not fucking physically demanding, but like this, it's hard to come in and be like, all right, what are we going to talk about today?
Do I
have the energy to talk about this? Like, what's the topics? Why? How long do I have to sit here? Like when I get up, my ass is gonna be sweaty, my brain's gonna hurt because I have to like. Rarely do you have to focus and be so zoned in for an hour, 2 hours, however long you're doing the show. So when you walk away, I always say when I get home and like. I'm like, babe, I just don't want to talk today because I did like 4 shows today and I don't want to talk because my brain hurts. I just want to sit here, have a glass of whiskey, and just be in silence.
Cook a butternut squash.
Right?
You know?
And like, you feel like an asshole, but like I am emotionally exhausted. I'm not physically exhausted. It wasn't the hardest thing I ever did. I didn't break my back, but it's fucking hard. And to do that 4 shows, 5 shows, a week is a lot.
My parents just came out to LA on my tour bus, and my dad was like, this is exhausting being on a bus all day. Like I get done and I'm like drained, and I go, imagine doing 2 shows in a drive-in now.
Right,
and
exactly.
And he was like, oh my God. Like he didn't realize, because you're right. There are times like I did 2 Bears with Tom yesterday, and it was like a really intense episode. And then we sat, because we're doing another live. We do these live events.
Oh yeah, we'll get into it.
Online. And we're planning the live event of what we're gonna do. And then you get home, and I know it sounds like I'm not a coal miner. I'll tell you what, man. I respect fat people who lose weight because that's work. Like that's work. No one wants to get on the treadmill. Right. No one wants to change their life habit. I respect sober people. I never respected sober people before. I thought they were weak. I thought they were weak because they couldn't get their shit together.
I agree with that though. I wholeheartedly agree with that still, because it's not that if you are sober, right, and you lived a life, right, and you partied and all that shit, and then I'm like, okay, I get it. Like you hit the breaking point, and you're like, I can't do this anymore. People who never even step to the ledge, those are people who freak me out, because you're scared to be someone like you're like, oh, if I let my guard down, I'll start being someone else because I know how fucked up I am in here. Whereas like when I get drunk, I know I'm just gonna be me. Like it's fine. I know I don't have some dark triad inside of me that's gonna fucking scare everyone and probably get me arrested and shit. Like I'm just gonna be a pretty fun guy and get fucked up. If you're scared to take that plunge, there's something wrong with you.
Because saying that sober people are weak, I mean, it's like they're overcoming addiction and staying away from something using mental fortitude.
Sober people, sure,
weak.
but people who didn't do it.
Right. No,
the strength is to stop after 2 bottles of wine.
Right.
I used to think this is going to sound absolutely horrible, and I'd like to apologize to them before I start this. But I used to look down on Jim Norton and Bobby Kelly because they quit drinking when they were like 15. I was like, you guys never even charged it, man. Like you never did ecstasy. You didn't do mushrooms. Like what the fuck? Oh, you guys had a couple drinks, went to juvie. I get
it. I love it. Listen, if you made it this far into the video,
which is far, like no one ever does that on the internet.
Like it's the end. You made it to the end of the video.
The full fucking video.
You watched the whole thing. So if you liked it and you watched the whole thing, why don't you subscribe?
It means you like us.
Click the subscribe button, because if you don't, I'm gonna fucking murder John.
And I'm gonna like it.
Kill him with my bare fucking hands.
Yeah.
And if you weren't sold on this video, there's plenty more. Watch what's next up and then subscribe. But just subscribe so I don't have to fucking kill him.
Well, I don't know. Do what you want, but subscribe. Probably.